asked to reflect on how we saw the environment at the beginning of the semester. I recognized the emotions and feelings that beauty from the environment's elements can create, which in turn should make us want to take care of it. I still feel this way, but am more aware of the things in between, like the scientific facts, individual stories, and our actions. I got stuck on the facts, believing that knowing the principles and interactions between different elements of the environment was important. I knew work and energy involved some type of heat and temperature change to create a force. I couldn't have told you that it was thermodynamics, though. I knew the food chain and life cycle connected everything, but would not have known it was a principle of ecology. Science is a part of the environment. It gives us the reasons why we should recycle, not use phosphates, and protect soil erosion in runoff. There is so much more to it than just the science, though. I talked about Capra in 2 different instances in my blogs. In my meta-reflection, I said Capra's readings discussed and informed us of the networks, nested systems, cycles, flows, and dynamic balances that are present in sustaining the environment. In the Common Post blog 2, I discussed that Capra talks about exploring practices that can help children to develop minds, hands, and hearts that will enable them to sustain our environment. His processes would include building respect for living nature through an experiential, participatory, and multidisciplinary approach. I recognize Capra discussing the facts in the meta-reflection, but the blog post I discussed it as building ways of connecting people to the environment through building respect. I had somehow compartmentalized each idea, but they actually fit together. I feel the main idea to build on is if science is important, what does it give us if we have no heart, emotions, or value connecting our daily lives to the science and the environment? As I said in my eco-literacy letter, using one, the brain, heart, or hands is good, but without the others, a part of the puzzle is missing. The big question is, how do we put the puzzle pieces together? How do we combine our emotions and facts then? Tillman's article, Interpreting Our Heritage, has made me think and feel it is our stories that are the missing piece. As it's put, our identities are what the environment gives us and helps us to create. What is my identity then? How has my time outdoors created my thoughts, ideas, and views of the environment? I used a boot to explain my eco-identity. The scuffs my history, the dirt and earth in the cracks are my involvement in activities. The tongue acted as the tastes and feelings that are created to enable or hinder doing up the laces being the skills and work that give me the ability to walk with force and purpose. They tie and hold everything together. This is my identity. It shows I value hands-on interaction, something Mackenzie brought to my attention in my Commonplace blog too, and the emotions and feelings that come with our interactions. This is my story and identity. But as we've talked about in canoe pedagogy, different views, words, and ideas exist about the environment. The backgrounds and stories are created by how society and people are interacting with their environment. How can we as teachers then give opportunities for students to interact and build an identity with the environment? Gettler describes Verletsev open-air life as a way to interact with the environment. I recognize the older view of Verletsev that focuses on human relationships with nature as being important. I don't particularly like the consumerist way that it has developed into, but I see value in it. The focused activities Gettler talks about doesn't build the same human relationships as the early Verletsev does, but if we are talking about creating an interest in children and in individuals to build a connection and create a value of nature in some way, then it does fit. I feel the main idea and understanding I've come to understand about environmental education is building and creating some emotional value and feelings that connect a person to the environment so they want to make an effort and care for it. Therefore, I had the idea and the answers all along. As I said in my first Commonplace blog 1, Becoming the Beauty, we often see the beauty of our environment and captured in photos framing them. What would happen, though, if we took the time to build and create the beauty the environment has? Basically, this says allowing interactions with the environment, nature, wilderness, and the earth connects us to it, by helping us recognize the beauty we each want to frame and the values we have for it. The images I've used are all photos I've taken. I feel as if they encompass what I value in my connection with the environment. I now challenge myself to help my students find what they value about nature, wilderness, and the earth around them, so they can take up a role in caring for it.